My little dude is sideways. Here we go. Well, folks, I hope everyone is doing well. This is going to be a super short live chat, so I can actually see what's going on. So my live with Angry Prepper yesterday, I mentioned that it was going to be 100 today. It is 100, but it is 93, and I'm kind of feeling the love right now. It is spicy outside. Yeah, I had some paperwork to do, and I'm not feeling the paperwork at the moment. The paperwork can go bite me. I'm not feeling that. Oh, hey, Suburban, what's going on? So I finished up at the charity event. I wasn't shooting or golfing today. I was working the tent. They left us with a keg of beer. I was good. I did not drink beer because it was way too hot. Like, the beer was ugly. I was like, ugh, I don't like beer. Hey, what's going on? Who's that? Scott, hello. Hey, Rescue, what is up? So, gonna have a busy weekend this weekend. I got to clear out the living room. We got contractor coming in to do take the carpet out because the puppy killed it. Freaking Bentley. And Peppermint, they had a fight with the carpet. Hey, what's going on? 300. And also, we don't know if we're going to be here another year, 2 years, 5 years. So we're going to have that floor done. I never understood. It's an open concept house. They stopped the tile. Hey, Purple Cowboy, what's up, Brad? They stopped the tile at the end of the kitchen because I have an island, so you have like little bar stools on the island. And then they did carpet across the dining area to the back door. I'm like, what logic were you using when you had this house built? Like, that's silly. So now we have this ugly ass carpet that we didn't like when we moved in. So we're gonna put tile there. Also, we have the dog, so that makes life easier. And if we have to sell, it improves value. And that's kind of what I wanted to share today. You know, I always have an angle, right? The defensive prepping idea, right? Maximize what you have. I put a little bit of money into the house now. Hopefully, hey, my mother's Spark, what's going on, Christy? Hopefully, it'll add equity later. Now, we did some homework. Upgrading your kitchen, your bathrooms, and your floors are 3 of the quickest ways to add equity to your house if you have the money and time to do it. And in my mind, instead of putting money in a bank, I'd rather put it into a property that if I need to, I can sell it and I'll take my equity with me. And again, when you reload as much as we do, we also know it's easier to sell a house when it doesn't look like, a disaster inside. But I got to go out to the event, and we didn't have power, but I brought the Jackery. I brought the baby Jackery and 1 solar panel. And I found a bunch of preppers in my coworkers, because one was like, why would you have that? That makes no sense. One guy's a fishing guy, and he's like, oh, I could have used this on my fishing trip. He went straight there. But my other coworker's like, you know what else is good for? Blackouts, tornadoes, hurricanes, zombies. He was being silly, right? But I was like, well, he said, staying off the grid when the grid goes down. He's like, why have a solar panel if it doesn't charge a battery? And he's an engineer, and he just went on. And I'm like, you and I think alike. I like this guy now. So I just made a new friend that is a secret squirrel prepper, apparently, which is funny because he played line in college, so he's literally like 6'3", 360 pounds. He's just this big tank of a guy. And then he like, oh, look at kittens, and he'll go play with kittens. It's just funny. Popping in for a sec. Hey, Milkmaid, no worries. This will be zombies. This will be a kind of a short live. I'm going to be busy this weekend and into next week. And I did a double live with Angry Prepper yesterday. It wasn't planned like that, but we were having a really fun conversation. We were joking and cursing. We'll probably curse more than I normally do. And then he's like, oh, it's time for the Angry Truth. He said, do you want to just jump over? And I'm like, yeah, I got nothing else to do. So we went over there and we talked smack more. It was cool, though, to see there were a lot of different opinions in the chats. I guess when you're that big a channel, you have so many people watching that you're going to get a really diverse group. I thought it was a fun live. And I tried to keep it tactful. Anyone heard from Josh? Which Josh? 300 just Josh or a different Josh? Smack is my favorite language. I saw both lives there. Okay, great. Thanks, prepping artist. And my boss is texting me. He's like, "Did you have a good time?" I was texting my boss. He's a good guy. I have to see and listen in less than I used to across the board. Hey, hillbilly. So I text my boss like every Friday, and because I'm one of the senior guys on the team, I'm like, and he's about my age, and I'm like, "Is there anything I need before I start drinking for the weekend?" And he's Canadian, right? So he loves his beer, and he starts laughing. He's like, "No, you're good." And then he'll, guys, I have not heard so many Bud Light jokes as I heard today from everyone, the men, the women, everybody. They're like, "Well, we didn't like Bud Light anyway." And one guy's like, "Well, now I got to drink Dos Equis, so I may as well just go directly to tequila." I'm like, what logic is this? Mind you, this is a Spanish guy. He goes, "Well, my parents are from Mexico, and like, if I can't drink my Bud Light, I have to drink Corona, which is okay, but tequila's better." I'm like, I don't understand how you made that line, but I like your logic. Like, I like tequila, so bonus. But I mean, it was never ending. Every group that came by our booth, they were like, "That's not Bud Light in that keg." And yes, I had a keg we were serving out of. We were making micheladas, which is kind of like a Spanish Bloody Mary. What I don't get is 8:39 in the morning, people showed up to this golf tournament. Again, it's a charity event. I got to meet the students. They were already drunk. Not young guys like 19, 20, 25, even 30-year-olds like, we went out party. No, 45, 50, 60-year-olds showing up hammered, red-eyed, red in the face. Yeah, and they're huffing and puffing because they're overheated. I'm like, drink water. I'm not putting my mouth on you if you pass out, man. That's going to freak me out. Tequila is bad juju for me. So, Milkmaid, I need to convince my wife to go on a live with me and make fresh strawberry margarita. Like, with strawberries, not the stupid mix, strawberries. God, it is so good. It's refreshing. But then you drink, after 2 or 3 glasses, you can't feel your nose because we make it strong, and it just goes downhill from there. Hold on. The only reason I asked about your work is because I think you do something similar to my husband. Okay, I lost track of the convo, Suburban. I don't know if you're talking to me or someone else, but yeah, you could shoot me an email. That's fine if that helps. I have shots, but strawberry is good margarita. It is good margarita, especially when it's fresh. Hey, Teresa, how are you? But it was a good event. Hopefully, actually, we met a kid who told us. She's a little country girl. Well, she wasn't little. She's a big, tall girl. She grew up on a farm, and she's like, "You guys helped me pay for college last year because we were broke. Like, something happened on the farm. Life happens." And it's nice to know that when we go out, a bunch of idiots, and we just goof around and try to fundraise, to meet some of the young people that it actually affects. Because when we do things like that, we change the needle, we move it. Because these kids are like, "Yeah, no, you paid for my last semester because, we had something happen on the farm. My mom and dad had no money, and I was going to drop out of school, and you made it possible for me to stay in." And I think this kid stayed in part-time, but she still got to stay in. I'm okay with that, right? We help someone out who's trying to better themselves. I'm 100% behind it. People help me in my life. If I can help someone else. Hey, Nostradamus. Do you play in ham radios at all? No, that is on my list of to-dos. My problem is I refuse to buy a Baofeng because they're made in China and they contain lead and spyware, and they're Decepticons, and I don't want to buy a Chinese ham radio. So I'm trying to find a non-Chinese ham radio. I'll buy from Korea. I'll buy from Japan. I'll buy from the US or Canada. So if anyone knows of a non-Chinese made ham radio, I don't care if I have to spend a couple of bucks more. I'm for it. I just don't trust the Baofangs because it's like, I'm gonna buy Baofeng, and then it's be like Dragon Day. You're gonna hack me, and then I have to wear the bracelet. No, no, no. And if you have not seen the movie Dragon Day, watch the movie Dragon Day because it will absolutely freak you out. I mean, completely freak you out. Hand crank blender. Oh, see, then JMA Merkel. Hand crank blender, you could take that anywhere. You don't need power. You could be in the zombie apocalypse. Make margaritas. I mean, if you gotta go with margaritas, right? I mean, why not? Hold on, I lost. It's hot today, 89 degrees. We're 92 here. Note to self, tequila to preps, yes. So, and some people apparently forget what stop signs are again. Come on, Texas, do better. Jesus. Yo, crackhead people driving around like that. So, and why is that guy walking through the field? Dude, there's rattlesnakes in that field. Like, oh, he's working. He's doing some kind of survey thing. Yeah, I was like, man, don't walk in the field. You're going to get a damn pig or a coyote to come out at you. I had a buddy inadvertently flush a clutch of javelinas at me. For those of you from Texas, you know what it is. A javelina is like a pecker. It's supposed to be a rodent family. If you look at it, it looks like a little warthog. They're about 50 pounds, but a pile of them came out of this one bush. And they came toward me because my buddy was being an idiot. And I'm like, that sucked, dude. Like, I was fine till you sent angry little pig things at me. Oh, and they had piglets. Oh, and there goes someone, little girl, and she just, oh, on the grass. Ouch. She was on a scooter. Boom. She was all happy. She was laughing at her sister, and then she wiped out into the grass, scooter and all. Her little shoes were flying. That was just funny. I just also found out two of my coworkers live within like a block of me. We didn't know that. So now we're like, we need to get together. One's Mexican and one's, I guess he's self-described redneck. I'm like, that's a perfect combination, a Puerto Rican, a Mexican, and a redneck. Like, how much fun could we have? That sounds like a bad bar joke, right? You know, the Mexican, the Puerto Rican, and the redneck all went into a bar, you know. But yeah, it was fun, and we got to raise some money for a good cause, which is always a good thing because it's nice to be able to do something good for folks, you know, especially nowadays. Because sometimes people suck, you know, people do this horrendous shit. You're always reading about death and dismay. Hold on, live chat. Let me see if I can scroll you guys back. Oh no. I went the wrong way. Well, I went too far back. Oh, Suburban. Okay. I got all I'm seeing your messages out of order. I would be in the, I guess you could say generically speaking, I'm in the energy sector. I don't know if that helps. Hold on. Okay, now we're back to zombies. Hold on. I lost something here. It is Cinco de Mayo, just saying. That's true. This is true. All I've drank today is this, though. Gatorade. Yeah, after I wound up in the hospital last year because I stupidly went out with clients for dinner and drinking on a Thursday night, spent all day at a clay shoot Friday in the hot, and then Saturday woke up messed up because I had dehydrated between the drinking Thursday night and the clay shoot Friday. I didn't hydrate enough, and because it's so dry out here, you don't feel sweat, so you don't perceive how dehydrated you are. And I got up in the morning and I was not right, and I wound up getting 3 bags of IV at the ER. So that was expensive stupidity on my part. So hydrate. So now I have a rule: if I have an outdoor event, I do not go to dinner, I do not drink, I water load the night before, and Gatorade. So I brought, actually now in my clay shooting bag, I have the stupid Gatorade powders. So, hey, which Josh are you referring to, guys? Because I lost the chat for a bit. Nancy Pelosi without her. Has a clamp for your bumper. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, no kidding. If I watch the Chinese electronic are fine if you're not a U.S. government agent, even if they spy on the intel in America. Armageddon. That's actually an interesting way to look at it. That's I need to go to the liquor store and restock tequila. Tequila is always a good thing. I was about to buy a Baofeng. Now I won't. Thanks. Sorry. Uh, oh, awesome. Thank you, my mother Spark. I'm reading everything backwards. So Baofeng are junk and don't work properly. Best prep I have is a hand crank blender. Oh, I'm back to the blender again. Yeah, oh, sorry. Cancel. All right, get back to it, Milkmaid. Be safe. Okay, it was just Josh. I can reach out to him. I think I have his number in my laptop. Just check on how he's doing. There are a lot of people fell off the grid. I used to watch when I could, but like I've seen Hutch a lot. I've seen Backwards a lot. I haven't seen like Josh for a bit, and then he's gone. I haven't seen Tribe in forever. Hey, Farmer Son. I know I did reach out for those of you who know 6-shooter homestead and prepping. We did exchange texts last month, and he just expanded his farm, and he's got little girls, and he's got animals now, and he put crops in, and they had some good rain, so now he's super busy. So, but I was happy. Hey, Joe, no worries. But it sounded like he and the family were doing good, so I was really happy about that. Now you reminded me I need to text DJ also and see how he's been. Yeah, I think, well, Joe and Glenn, there are a bunch of us on my Discord and Papa Prepper's Discord. Papa's off grid most of the time. He pops in every now and then on the chats, but I know Joe and Glenn and myself and Green Thumb, there's like a group of us chat there, and then there's another group, Jason, Hudson, my mother Spark. There's like little groups of us that are always messaging each other. Joe, I have a holster I need to do a review on. I'll send you a picture of it because I think this one you'd like because it gives you options. Medication for COPD is hard to find. I think medication's going to get worse with the China thing and the supply chain thing. And again, it's just why you prep. And again, like I know Joe will often say he's a gun guy who believes in being prepared. I mean, we're all thinking the same thing, regardless of how we look at it. Because knowing things may be happening gives you course corrections, right? And that's the trick. You want to give yourself those options. Prepping gives you options and it buys you time. And the dude, welcome. Yeah. And even if they don't, their economy is not doing great. They're just hiding it because they're not a transparent nation like we are. They were having bank riots and bank runs last year. I'm a sucker for a good holster. I'm irritated with companies pushing non-optic cut. There's already a shortage in psych meds. No, GMA Merck, not at all. And actually, that would tie into what a lot of us are seeing: the nutty people in the street being belligerent, attacking the public. There's a lot going on, and it just makes you wonder who's in charge of the ship, right? Who's running the show? I do not believe we don't have a Kennedy. Look, like or dislike Trump or Obama, at least they were lucid, right? They knew what was going on. Regardless of whether you liked what they said or what they did, I do not feel in my core that our current president is understanding his surroundings and the situations, which makes me wonder who's making decisions. Pete, the best way to handle drunk furries were uppercuts and haymakers. No, you know what, Joe? Okay, so those of you who didn't see my short video this morning, somebody dressed like a fox and was just walking up and down Wall Street in my town. Not Wall Street, Wall Street in my little city here. And I was thinking, I should dress like Pikachu and go over and smack the shit out of the fox. Just run over with my big mitts and go do 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 do. To me, that's the funniest thing in the world. Is we got two here, Pete. Um, is to watch people in costumes like that fight. Like when mascots fight, forget the football game. I want to see the stupid mascots because that's way more funny to me. Joe Star is making most of this discussion along with China. JB is compromised. Oh, I don't doubt it, Virginia, at all. I've seen furries fight in real life. So when I was a kid, let's just say Hayes Group Prepper, who has a small channel. He's actually not on very much at all. He usually jumps in my chat. We spent time together in our childhood, and I almost convinced him to get a Conan sword from the KB toy stores in the mall and go hit the guy dressed as an Easter bunny in the crotch. Almost that close. He was about to do it. I said, the bunny's, it's not the real Easter bunny. He's like, yes, he didn't. I'm like, no, that's the demon bunny. He's like, oh, I don't want the demon bunny. I'm like, yeah, just go take that Conan sword and go smack him in the pee-pee. And he thought he had the sword, but then security's like, guys, quit playing with the sword. And so we had to put it back. I almost got him to smack that stupid guy in the crotch, which would have gotten both of us thrown out of the mall. But it was funny. Hey, KP, what's going on? How's Louisiana, man? Do you get in a bunch of wind down there? Because the wind here stopped and it just got damn hot. I've been in a drunken fist fight with an Easter bunny, but not the real Easter bunny. Well, I hope there was actually someone dressed as an Easter bunny, because if you're fighting with imaginary bunnies, whatever bottle that was should never be consumed again. That was Everclear or ethanol. It was not booze. So I had a buddy get drunk and decide he was going to tackle a stop sign. He failed. I mean, we thought it was great, but he failed. And then, unfortunately, he was a heavy guy, and we had to drag him in the snow for a bit. That was not fun. So, yeah, be careful. Don't fight inanimate objects. You can hurt yourself. But I'll tell you what, there were rabbits and prairie dogs all over that golf course today while we were doing the charity thing. And I'm like, man, Bentley and Peppermint would have a field day out here. I could have released them both and be like, go get the mouse, because it looks like a big mouse anyway. Just kill it. The real person, Easter Bunny costume, the dude started a fist fight with my brother. The Easter Bunny attacked someone? That's a messed up Easter Bunny, yo. There were children traumatized permanently after that. It's like Chuck E. Cheese. Have you ever seen Chuck E. Cheese? The little animals, like, they're messed up. It wasn't me. Well, I'll tell you what, my kids did not like Chuck E. Cheese. They go there, well, the pizza was janky, but that stupid mouse, they had the little band playing, was all the animatronic things. And my kids did not like that damn thing. The Easter Bunny was a pendejo in Easter Bunny costume. Well, he was the fail bunny there. I kicked Chuck E. Cheese. Good. Chuck E. Cheese is a pendejo. I don't like Chuck E. Cheese. I don't like that damn fluffy guy that hangs out with him. And, oh, true story. So during COVID, here locally in other cities, people were seeing Mario's, it was like, I think Mario's Pizza or Mickey's Pizza or Mike's Pizza, whatever. And everyone thought it was a new pizza chain trying to start up. And during the Rona out here, a lot of people were like, we're going to support the local stores and businesses. They actually made an effort to not buy everything from Amazon. They're like, no, we're going to go to the local boutique, even if we have to drive up, and we're going to try to keep our businesses afloat. Hey, Kentucky. And people ordered this pizza, and then they put it on the neighborhood Facebook page. It's like, hey, I ordered from, it's Mario's something or other pizza. And look at the box it came in. It was Chuck E. Cheese. Mario is the little dude that hangs out with Chuck E. Cheese. So Chuck E. Cheese was trying to make money, which was smart, but they went under the name, they went under a different name to sell those pizzas, but then put it in a Chuck E. Cheese box. So people were pissed off. They're like, I didn't want Chuck E. Cheese. I wanted some other pizza. So they should have just said, hey, Chuck E. Cheese needs your help. Here's our janky pizza for your kids. So I'll tell you what, during the Rona also, the restaurants were selling those number 10 green beans because they were still under contract to receive the food. They were selling Rosa's Tacos, which is a big West Texas chain, the 5 pound ground beef taco meat without seasoning, just the ground beef. They were selling those. So people were going in line to the restaurant because the restaurant could only they'd sell food, but they were partly shut down. People were buying like the big canned foods to bring home, and they would just mark it up so they could make a little bit of money and pay for their employees. And folks really stepped up in my part of Texas. I was kind of impressed. But Chuck E. Cheese lied. They shouldn't have done that. They pissed everyone off, and them in their nasty ball pit. So you know, I just got a new tool for Mother's Day, and I need to arrange to. Oh, nice. Well, having a pew is a good thing. I still getting a kick out of. I kick Chuck E. Cheese. That would be a great T-shirt. I kick Chuck E. Cheese, and then the little mouse with an X on his eye passed out in the corner. I don't like him at all. But folks, yeah, it's there's a lot of weird things. Like I said, that analyst earlier this week, I covered a little bit of that with Angry Prepper last night. But good Lord, the the way she was talking, she's like, if I were China, I'd wait till the end of the year when our economy is really in the toilet, and then I'd go attack Taiwan right around Christmas. Like she was that specific. And we're all sitting there, and this is 100 people who are professional bankers and engineers and business people and small business owners, and we're all sitting there going, "What? Hey, thank you, my mother Spark. Furries should be interred in concentration camp. They were deviants." And what's funny is that? Oh man, hold on. Okay, I don't know. There's something like my messages are bouncing back and forth. Like Chucky drinks Bud Light during COVID box truck. And yeah, no, the big box stores were a pain in the ass. But so she pointed out, she showed us a graph, and she said, we all know residential housing got way overinflated, and now it's coming down. And she said in 2008, like the residential housing went down, and then rentals went right behind it. She said the big difference in 2008 versus now is commercial real estate stayed flat. She said commercial real estate is following the other two, or it's already dropping, and rentals have flattened out and are about to drop. And she said that didn't happen, and a lot of regional banks are overexposed to commercial real estate, and that concerns her. And she said because what we saw with Silicon Valley Bank, where they had too much tech industry in their portfolio, and so when the tech industries took a hit, the bank shut down. You're going to see in other banks. The banker I spoke to here, he said, no, we diversified, so we've got different types of energy, and we've got railroad and pipeline. He gave me a quick rundown, nothing confidential, but he said we're spread out enough where if we could take a hit from a couple of sectors at the same time before we start getting in trouble. But he said there's some banks that are not like that. So I've heard a few people say, spreading out your eggs, diversifying, right? Stocks, bonds, but also cash, silver, credit union versus checking account. He said if you can spread it out a little, it reduces your risk a little bit. And he said if the whole thing comes crashing down, we have zombies anyway. So it's like, yeah, that's true. But yeah, it was interesting listening to all these folks. I have some pictures of the slides, but I found out afterwards I can't show them. So I need to find similar or comparable information because I want to do a video on that. I just want to do a series on how this person saw the market. I did say on Jason's show last night, my wife and I looked at a Tahoe at 2019. And the new Tahoe with just leather seats and like a 4x4 package, because we do go off-road like camping and hiking and whatnot. was 45, 50 grand. And you get the bougie one, it went to 60. And I'm talking bougie like the Cadillac Escalade was 65, 70. Right now, the Tahoe is 87,000. It went from freaking 45,000 to almost double. The Escalade went from 70 to 120,000, and that's not including a trade-in. I'm like, who the hell's going to afford that? And that's where guys like Economic Ninja and myself, to be honest, we're like, showed a list of banks with 70% commercial real estate. Yeah, Nostra, that kind of stuff, she said the same thing. The analysts are seeing it. Same guy who wire wheeled a Smith & Wesson bodyguard with Armalite finish is now... Funny where people had delivered beds, workout equipment to you. Oh, I believe it. So I picked up my my own workout equipment. Hey, Mimi. Honestly, Suburban, that's what I'm going to do. I got an F-150 that's in great shape. Even if when I hit 120, say the transmission goes, it would be cheaper for me to pay $4,000 for a new transmission and keep running the truck, unless it has a major other issue, than it would for me to take out a loan that I could buy a small house with. You could buy acreage for $150,000. Like this, just, what? And the cars don't give you, you don't get equity in a car. Like eventually you pay it down enough to where what you owe is what you could get for it selling, but that takes years. It's not like a house. I'd rather put my money in my house and make my house nice, and I'll drive a clunker. I'll drive a damn fleet truck. I don't care. I'd rather do that than have to battle. So my wife and I were giggling. We're like, and she's in accounting, so she's like, you know what? I'm going to go break out a spreadsheet. So we started calculating what would be our monthly payment if we bought a $90,000 SUV. We kind of estimated the down payment. We estimated what we'd have to carry over from the other car. And if someone bought that car new and traded in and had to, roll over 10, 15 grand, your monthly payment for the bougie Cadillac, if you wanted to buy the bougie one, would be $1,800 a month. I'm like, I can't compute that. That's a house. You could buy property for that. And yet I see people with these over expensive cars, and I know they're not working, and I'm like, what are you doing, buddy? You're doing it. Their kids need food. Like, what are you doing? Why do you have this bougie car? Buy a shop truck. I'm not gonna judge you. I don't give a shit. I grew up poor. Buy whatever gets you to work and to the grocery store and to the kids' baseball game. And I'm looking at some driveways, and they have literally $250,000 of loans in their driveway, and I can't compute that. I just... Hold on, view message. Oh shoot. All right, so apparently the auto chat thing, I got rid of the stupid little robot, but I guess oops, hold on. I don't know what it's doing. It crumpled up all my chat. So all of your comments are now like all in one line, and it just looks like hieroglyphs. So sorry guys if I'm not answering you. I'm not ignoring you. I literally can't read it. Oh, prepping artists, it's insane. And it's funny because I'll buy my wife like jewelry, and she'll be like, well, we don't need jewelry. I said, that's true, but it's made of silver or gold. And she'll go, good point. I'm like, yep. That's why I buy firearms. She's like, don't sell them. They have value. They go up in value over time. That's how you can tell my wife's a keeper, right? She's like, don't sell your guns. Don't sell a gun. Keep them unless they're broken, because they go up in value. So again, diversify. However you do it. Gold, silver, guns, jewelry. The there's a lot we can learn from what the people in the Great Depression did, because the government did some bad shit to the people in the Depression. The transmission's going in my van. No idea how much longer I have, but we need room, so I have to find another used van because trucks. Okay, so Alias, yeah, I think your name is Alias. Sorry, I can't see it because it's on my phone and I'm sideways. Oh no, well, Joe, honestly, I don't have one that's broken. I actually fixed that stupid little 25 caliber Raven, which was absolutely loud. The noisy cricket, man. I should use that as my jogging gun. Put it in my little like chest pouch. I literally have weaponized autism. Weaponized autism. So, folks, look. As you go forward this weekend, double check your preps, check your inventory, get organized. When I put up the new shelving unit, God, it made so much difference. And now I could put stuff up and look at it and go, okay, that doesn't make sense. I don't have this and I use it, but I have too much of this and I don't use it. It helps me understand something. My yard right now, I got to figure out if I want to put a vegetable garden there because the property is not conducive to it. My grandmother was raising a big family during the Depression. They were so poor they didn't know there was. That was my dad, suburban. My dad grew up in the islands. He was born in 34. And there were 10 kids in the house. There were 14 total, before were from Grandpa's mistress, apparently, which is, woo, yeah. I need to rebuild 2002 F-150 motor. In KP, you're probably coming out ahead. Hey, Shad, you're probably coming out ahead doing it that way than trying to get a new car right now. Oh, and then the interest rates are up, so you're going to get if you had a 2 or 3 before, you're going to get a 7 now, even if you have good credit. If you refinance a home, you're going to get hit with this bonus penalty that the Biden administration wants to give you. Hey, Mad Chad, so you can help low credit, but they're not necessarily going to use it for the low credit folks' house anyway. I don't know what they're doing, but we'll get an extra $14,000 hit on our loan over a 30-year loan because they want to redistribute your hard work to other people. And I know there are people who need help, don't get me wrong, but it's not all the people. And yes, suburban. So my home insurance went up 50% this year. Pay on time, good credit, 50%. And I called the insurance company. He said that insurance company is trying to remove people from its roster to reduce its liability. So it's deliberately raising the rates to make people leave. Since they can't kick you off, they're going to price you out so you go somewhere else, which is exactly what I did. So mission accomplished. But yeah, it was significantly more. But folks, in any case, look, now's a great weekend. Most of us should have decent weather. Fix up your property, fix up the house. Anything you can do to improve equity in your home, keep your vehicles running better. Let's do the most we can with what we already have. Unless you absolutely need, and you may just have to absolutely jump out and buy something different, but if you don't, save what you got, and if you're going to get something, make sure it's something that can at least help you go up in value over time, right? So, yeah, we're ahead of the curve with everyone else, so we just need to continue doing that. So I'm going to screw off like I do every Friday. No, Joe, as soon as I'm done here, I've been out in the sun all day under a stupid tent. I'm going to go and take a bath, and I'm going to make myself something to drink, maybe a whiskey sour, and I'm going to watch, I don't know, Aliens on TV or something. Or I'll jump on the PlayStation, see if my son's online, and talk shit to him and his friends overseas, and then blow up their little dudes and then log off just to be an ass. That's a great way for me to keep in touch with the guys anyway. God, I some of these soldiers, I knew them when they were little Cub Scouts with my son. So it's neat to see them. Yeah, no, Cinco de Mayo, I should make the strawberry margarita. I don't think I have strawberries. Yeah, Alias, if you can get rid of that, absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, P, shoot me an email. Hey, local, what's going on? But folks, look, now's a great time. Evaluate your situation, maximize your own assets as best you can, whether it's your house, your car, your your garden at the house. Make sure your meds are up to date, uh, and just keep doing what we're doing, because I promise you, from what I've seen with the COVID, with the supply chain, we were 6 weeks to 8 weeks ahead of the general population. I was already stocked up. Well, I was stocked up anyway, but like what I saw, I was talking about in my circle during the Rona, and the public freaked out locally 8 weeks later. It's just every time something goes down, we all see it coming, because we're kind of paying attention to the patterns, and that's all it is, right? Situational awareness is not freak out. It's what's going on and what results can occur from those things. The only thing I really need to do is go through my bag of doom. Go for my bag of doom. I don't even know what a bag of doom is, but that just sounds cool, man. Yeah, so folks, yeah, and y'all get some rest. I got a Saturday Sitrep I'm going to throw out there tomorrow morning. I'm going to do it like I used to do it at the beginning of the channel, the global news, different countries. I didn't get it for first three. Well, Suburban, I tested negative the first time, had no symptoms. The second time I had full-on COVID, but it was done in a week, and I sounded like Yoda for a month. It was actually funny. I sounded like Nick Nolte and Yoda mixed together, which was really messed up. But anyway, they like to forget walking in the store, finding empty shelves. Alias, that's the problem. They forget. So we don't want to be out there when the freak out happens, right? We want to either be done before or go out after and see what's left if we have to. We don't want to be there. I mean, they punch each other over TVs. Let's celebrate our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace who forgave our sins, by going to Walmart and punching each other over a plastic TV. Again, I revert to the word pendejos for people like that. Like, what are you doing? That's not Christian. That's not Jesus. Anyway, you guys get it. I sound like a transgender accident. Oh, that's... Okay, that's another t-shirt worthy phrase. I sound like a transgender accident. God. You make that into a t-shirt and you wind up getting run off. Man, it keeps putting... Some of y'all's comments are showing up. I don't know if it's like putting them for review, but I can't see it because the phone's sideways. So it's jumbling up comments into like this hieroglyph that I can't read. So if you put a comment and it's not showing up, I'm not blocking them. I think the algorithm's just like, oh, bad words together, and I can't make out what's happening. So apparently somebody put Chuck E. Cheese as a pervert or something, and it blocked that too because it had a bad word. And I'm like, who's what? Why is pervert is not a bad word? I don't know. Anyway, guys, be safe out there. Be careful. Help each other out. And yeah, this weekend, that's my mission, other than cooling off from today's outside fun, is I'm going to go and I'm going to check out my preps. I'm going to look at my inventory, check for expired shit. And yeah, no kidding. Even the algorithm doesn't like Chucky's pizza. Chucky's lying pizza. But anyway, folks, I'm going to go and let the dogs out. I can hear the corgis barking. One of them, he's like, I got to pee, Dad. So I got to let them out. So you guys be good, be safe. And I will see you all later this weekend or next week. Take some time. And also, as Joe properly pointed out, and so did Matt Shad and a few of you, take some time to enjoy. Have a drink, have a snack, sit and watch the TV, or just, have margaritas, whatever. Happy Cinco de Mayo for those of you who are celebrating it.